Hi guys, it's Jen Gallacher here. So today I have something really fun planned for you. I invited some of my favorite YouTubers to join me in a scrapbook process YouTube blog hop. That's a mouthful, right? But what I wanted to do is kind of introduce you to some other fabulous scrapbook process videos that are here and available on YouTube. So down below in the video description, you're going to see all the videos listed. Be sure to take a moment to subscribe to these fabulous gals channels. They are just incredibly talented, and I'm just totally inspired by these gals. Watch for additional YouTube hops throughout the year on my channel here because I want the opportunity to kind of collaborate with some amazing people, and there are just so many in my industry that I thought it would be fun. If you would like to collaborate and you have a YouTube channel that you think would fit with what we have going on here, you can always contact me through jengallacher.com. But let's go ahead and get started with my video, and then you can hop to the other gals' videos and see all the amazing things that they've created. Let's get started. So if you're new to my channel, I just want to talk you through my process. So I typically create the page, but don't put anything down. And that allows me to quickly walk you through the page kind of in a more live setting. Now I haven't done an 8.5 by 11 inch layout in a long time, so I thought that I would do an 8.5 by 11 inch spread for you today, or rather a single page layout. And then I often do 12 by 12 as well. But again, just to give you a feel and a taste of my style. And if you love it, take a moment to subscribe. So we're going to start with some pattern papers from a variety of different companies. Most of these are quite old, but I've loved them and hoarded them for a long time. This is a basic gray floral, and this was the color collection or the color story that I chose for this particular layout. And then every color that I picked beyond this matches. So that was kind of the concept I was going for. On top here is an older Dots and Stripes paper from Echo Park, and it is a dot paper. And I just want to make sure that my edges run parallel. I don't do a lot of measuring, so I just kind of eyeball things. I tend to use a lot of die cuts on my projects. This particular one is file tabs from Tim Holtz, and you can't see it very well, but there are two tab sizes, and you can place them on the edge here, or you can place them on the edge here, and then you run them through a manual die cut machine. And I've cut one both from a kind of burgundy textured cardstock that I'll place behind here, as well as some more basic gray. I use the solid side rather than the dotted side. This may actually not be basic gray. I'll have to look and see. I do always try and give you a link to products that are either similar or the products, if they're still available, in my video description below. They are affiliate links, which means that it helps to pay for some of these videos. When you click on them, it keeps track of what you're buying and lets me know too what you're liking. So some stickers from my Mind's Eye in pink. And they just work so great inside those die cut tabs. If you like these particular die cuts I'm using, but you use a digital die cut machine, such as a Cricut or a Silhouette machine, search by things like file tabs, or I'll be using a butterfly, see if you can find something similar. I'm going to incorporate a vintage piece of a dictionary paper. Now, one word of advice is this is not acid free. So make sure that you're using a photo that is a duplicate, because it will change the color of your photo over time. But I really loved it, so I wanted to use it. Another safe option is to find a piece of paper that has that yellowed effect, but is actually just regular pattern paper. A second die cut shape that I use frequently is another die cut from Tim Holtz, and it is a manual die cut. It's a label die cut, and sometimes I'll only use part of the die cut. So I just cut from point to point using some scissors, and I'm going to tuck this right here at the bottom, off center it a little bit. And then another thing that I love to incorporate are punches. This is a large label punch, same technique. I cut it in half, and then we're going to offset it. so that it brings in some yellow down here at the bottom, and I'm going to bring in yellow in a couple of other different ways. Then I don't know if you can tell, but from this pattern paper there is a very, very light pink. So using that piece of pattern paper, I went and looked for a piece from another company. This is a Dots and Stripes paper from Echo Park, and I found that same light pink color. So I start with the multicolored and then I go and find other colors. Another tool I often use are border punches. This is a scallop border punch. You could use scissors, you can manually die cut these or digitally die cut them. And then I'll just attach that here at the bottom. And I want to cover that bottom edge of paper. Then to add some of that purple that I used here at the top, I'm going to add some more purple, and I'm going to actually just use my dot runner adhesive, and I typically will place a thin piece like this on a scratch piece of paper, such as that extra die cut, so I don't get extra adhesive on my page. You could also do it on a scratch piece of paper or wherever you like. I'm going to mix and match some different companies' products here. This is a vellum sticker, and it did have adhesive on the back, but when I peeled it away, it pulled that adhesive off. So with a clear piece, I'm going to use glue dots, and I want to strategically place the glue dots so that they fall in the fold and don't show up quite as easily. Place that along that bottom edge, and it says, all you need is love. Then I've die cut from a manual die cut, but I do know that many of these are available as digital die cuts, this word Bliss. And this is a Heidi Swap die cut. It does come with the I in the word, but sometimes if I'm scrapbooking, I'll lose the I or I'll misplace it. You don't always have to fill it in. Some other options are enamel dots, or you could use a brad, or you could even, if you've actually lost the die piece, is you could punch your own circle to create that dotted I. Again, using that scratch piece that I can mount the title in the center here. And I'm not going to mount this piece back there because I'm going to add some photos. Before I add the photos, I love texture on a layout, and there's a couple of different ways you can add texture. Vellum is a texture. Because it is a different feel to the paper that you're using, that's a texture. This piece of vintage paper is a texture. But texture makes your page touchable. It makes people want to touch it. It draws them into the page. It's just a great kind of secret weapon. And I've chosen one in blue. Then I have two photos that I printed, and I first printed them out as colored, and even though I manipulated them quite a bit in my Photoshop program, I could not get the colors as pure as I wanted, so I just took the easy route, and in Photoshop I changed them to black and white. So let's peel up that die cut again. Be careful with the doily, they're very fragile. We'll stick that back down in just a sec. Just tuck these pieces. See, I'm just kind of building the page, and now I can place my die cut title right on top of that photo. All right, let's add some additional texture. I'm going to add a journaling block. Now this is a technique that I use. I have cut out a label sticker, and I've placed it with adhesive on the top of printer paper that has the same journaling printed on it, and then I can peel it away. Now, for some reason, when it ran through my printer, it got a little bit of a smudge on the actual sticker. So I'll do my best to hide it behind that photo. And then we just want to make sure, using the right edge, that my journaling is straight. We'll add a sticker to the top of that. It is an epoxy sticker from Freckled Fawn, I believe. Again, check all of my supplies below. Sometimes when I'm filming the video, I forget who it's from. I do try to accurately list below. If I don't know who it is, like for some reason I've removed the packaging, then I may not list it, but I do my best. So it says write it down, and then we're going to add some paper clips. These are just office clips, just to the photo, just to bring in some more texture. I always do a small version and a large version of the paper clip, meaning if you look at a paper clip, it has a long side and it has a short side. Another die cut that I love, this is from Stampin' Up, and I do have a demonstrator. I love Stampin' Up products, and this is a butterfly set. This is the smaller of the two butterflies that comes in this set. Now you could use a liquid adhesive to do this, but I'm just using the runner adhesive that I have. Now, one way to add layering and texture is to bring in different elements. And I have a couple of different punches from Martha Stewart. This is the large flower. And then she also has another one that has a set of 3, and you can see that they're different sizes. So again, I've punched from that burgundy cardstock. I added a strip down here, I've punched a piece, and I did a file strip at the top. That brings it into the page a couple of different times. Makes the page feel cohesive, and I'm just gonna add a little glue dot in the center of the butterfly. And then to the center of that, I have a little white button that's tied with twine. Make sure we get the glue dot on there, and then we'll place it in the center. So I've just built a butterfly. And then we are going to add to the top of that die cut a purple clip that I've had forever. It is actually by Making Memories, and that's an older company that doesn't do paper crafting stuff much anymore, if at all. And then I want to bring in some more of that pink color. So I've punched from that pink pattern paper a couple of pink flowers. And to the center of those flowers, we're going to add some yellow enamel dots so that they work with the yellow in this page. So hopefully this gives you a little taste of what you can find here on my YouTube channel. So thanks for joining me for this Memories Made video. Now remember, this is a YouTube hop, so that means I've collaborated with other gals, and you can find their links below to see where their videos are hosted. Now take a moment and subscribe to their channels so that you get to see all of the videos that they produce. These are talented, talented gals, and I'm super excited to be a part of this. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so now. And for additional inspiration, included classes, printables, and some upcoming fun products, be sure to visit jengallacher.com.